everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into XRP's market analysis for April 27th, 2026. You know what I've noticed? There's some really interesting movement happening with XRP right now, so let's take a closer look together, shall we? Now, before we get started, I want to remind you that this analysis is based on AI-generated data. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just someone who loves looking at market patterns and sharing what I find. So please, always do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose, okay? All right, let's start with where XRP is trading right now. The current price is sitting at $1.4312 on Binance with a modest 24-hour gain of plus 0.61%. Not too exciting on the surface, but here's the thing. Underneath all this calm price action, something big is brewing. The trading volume has surged to $77 million. Which tells me there's definitely some serious interest building up. It's like the calm before the storm, you know? Now let's talk technical indicators, and this is where it gets interesting. The RSI is at 54.80, which is perfectly neutral. Not overbought, not oversold. That's actually a good thing, because it means there's room to move in either direction. The MACD is showing some nice bullish momentum at 0.0169, staying above its signal line. And you know what I love about the Bollinger Bands right now? XRP is trading above the middle band at $1.3933, but still has plenty of room to reach that upper band at $1.4813. The only concerning thing is that 200-day moving average. We're still about 22% below it at $1.8321. Which means we have some work to do for that long-term trend recovery. Here's something fascinating about XRP's behavior lately. It's maintaining pretty weak correlations with Bitcoin and Ethereum, which means it's kind of doing its own thing. That's actually refreshing to see. There's also this negative correlation with the dollar index, so if the dollar weakens, XRP could really benefit. Oh, and here's some news that caught my attention. The CFTC just reduced their staff by 24%. Now, this could mean changes in how crypto gets regulated going forward, so we'll want to keep an eye on that. Speaking of regulation, there's some really good news on this front. Coinbase announced they're planning to give XRP the same institutional tools they offer for Bitcoin and gold. That's actually huge for institutional adoption. But here's what I find interesting. Research shows Wall Street still has quite a bit of control over XRP prices. So we're not quite at that independent safe haven status yet, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. Now let's talk about market sentiment, and this is where I get a bit excited. The Fear and Greed Index is sitting at 33, which puts us in fear territory. You know what that usually means? Opportunity. When everyone else is scared, that's often when the best buying chances appear. XRP search trends are pretty low at 25, and there's zero FOMO in the market right now. This tells me we're in a healthy, non-overheated environment with lots of upside potential. Okay, here's the part that really got my attention today. We saw 148 whale transactions totaling almost 279 billion XRP in volume. But wait, here's the kicker. 34.94 million XRP left exchanges in just 24 hours. That's one of the strongest accumulation signals we've seen all year. When big players are pulling their coins off exchanges, they're not planning to sell anytime soon. They're planning to hold, which creates supply pressure and, well, you know what happens when supply gets tight? From a wave analysis perspective, Elliott wave theory suggests we're in a C-wave correction phase, while the Wyckoff method puts us in the early markup stage with 44% confidence. Now, I know that sounds technical, but basically it means we might be transitioning from accumulation to the beginning of a major uptrend. It's not confirmed yet, but the signs are definitely pointing in that direction. Here's where the AI predictions get really interesting. Short term, we're looking at a target of $1.6901. That's about 18% upside with 51.7% probability. Medium term gets even better, $1.8220 with 27% gains and 66.6% probability. Long-term moderates a bit to $1.5449, still 7.9% upside, but with a high 77.3% probability. So the pattern suggests a strong move up, maybe some correction, but overall bullish momentum building. Now, I always like to be honest about the risks, because there are some things to watch out for. The volatility could be pretty intense. We might see that spike to $1.82 followed by a pullback. We're still quite far from that 200-day moving average, which could act as resistance. And most XRP ETFs are actually seeing outflows right now, which shows some institutional caution. Plus, search interest is still pretty low, so we don't have that retail excitement yet. So here's my overall take, and I'm leaning toward a gradual buy recommendation. That massive exchange outflow of 34.94 million XRP is just too strong a signal to ignore. The technical setup looks good with bullish MACD and room to move higher. Entry range: I'm thinking $1.42 to $1.44 for gradual accumulation. Primary target would be $1.69, secondary target $1.82. And for safety, I'd set a stop loss around $1.32. Given the expected volatility, maybe only use 30 to 40% of your planned investment and take some profits along the way. And that's a wrap on today's XRP analysis. The combination of strong on-chain signals, decent technicals, and bullish AI predictions has me cautiously optimistic. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more market insights. Remember, always invest responsibly and never risk more than you can afford to lose. I'll see you in the next video.